Okay, so here's the plan for today. A while back, very early in Regulation I made a video with the simple goal of using four, they didn't have to be different, just 4 restricted Pokemon in the same battle. And I did that, of course, you can't have 4 restricted Pokemon on a team in Reg I. I did it by using 2 Pokemon with Transform to copy the opponent's restricted Pokemon in addition to having my own restricteds. I really enjoyed that video. I liked the simple but goofy premise. It was fun to make, and it seemed to perform relatively well for this very small channel. I was going to use its thumbnail as the showdown background, but I couldn't find it. I must have given it an unintuitive file name or saved it in the wrong place. I don't know. But yeah, I want to try again with Mythical Pokemon in Reg J. It's going to be harder, right? Because not every opponent has a Mythical Pokemon in Reg J, and most that do have a Mythical only have 1. So the opportunities to actually pull this off are going to be very slim. It might take a while, but I want to try. So that means my restricted duo both have to be Mythical Pokemon. I might as well show a little bit of the prep here, right? As I start to think about this. If the premise is 4 Mythical Pokemon, then I have to bring 2 of them myself, so I have no option to bring non-Mythical restricteds. In the Reg I video, my restricted Pokemon were Lunala and Zacian. And as I recall, the reason for that was, the main reason was, my first thought for what to do with my restricteds was follow me. Use redirection cover to give Smeargle an opportunity to transform. That was one of my 2 transform users. But no restricteds get follow me, so that wasn't an option. No restricteds get Rage Powder either. And then the next things I looked to were Wide Guard and Quick Guard. Zacian is the only restricted with Quick Guard, and the only legendary restricted. And Lunala was one of the Wide Guard options. I don't really remember why I chose that specific one. I think it was just the best Pokemon out of them, other than Zamazenta maybe. So, similar concept here with Mythicals. I just thought I might as well record myself choosing the Mythicals. No Mythical Pokemon get Follow Me or Rage Powder. No Mythical Pokemon get Wide Guard, so I don't get that cover for my team this time. Keldeo is the only one with Quick Guard. That's why Keldeo is here on the short list, but I think it's probably not going to last very long. Because I think the better thing to be doing here is having my Mythical Pokemon putting out pressure. So that the opponent has to focus in on it, and I can give cover to my Transform user. I'll use Ditto for sure on this team, because of course it transforms on switch in. That's massively powerful for this gimmick. I think the other Transform user this time will probably be Mew, because it's just much bulkier than Smeargle. Oh no, I can't use Mew, because that would be a 3rd restricted. Alright, it has to be Smeargle then. Yeah, alright, so to give cover to Smeargle, unless I get a little bit creative with how I count 4 Mythicals, but no, it has to be 4 different Pokemon, that's the premise, right? Yeah, so to give cover to Smeargle, I think I just need to put out pressure. So I think Keldeo just doesn't do enough. It's not bulky. That Quick Guard is very situational, and otherwise Keldeo's just going to get KO'd. It's not even very fast for this format. I don't think Keldeo makes the cut. That means no Wide Guard and no Quick Guard. Instead, we rely on... I keep saying putting out pressure because it's not necessarily offensive pressure, right? Darkrai is here because it threatens sleep. I give it the Choice Scarf instead of giving that to Ditto. And I can just like spam Scarf Dark Void. And if I run Arceus, I can put Gravity on that. My thought for Arceus is like bulky Extreme Killer, Swords Dance Extreme Speed, but I also can make room for Gravity on that set. And then Arceus and Darkrai. Granted, I still have to get Smeargle onto the field then, but I think that might be the strongest duo available. Diancie is here because it's just very bulky. You have to terrestrialize it to really take advantage, but that's not necessarily the worst thing. But I think Diancie just doesn't put out enough pressure, right? Like, Diancie is very bulky, it can take hits, but it doesn't really command the opponent's attention, so I don't think it's one of the picks for this video. Skyform Shaman is here because it has Serene Grace, and it can flinch things with Air Slash. I can give the Choice Scarf to it if I don't run Darkrai. And I can just prevent a bunch of opponents from moving, and buy time for Smeargle that way. That's a little bit less, reliant on my opponent's psychology. It's not that I need them to attack to prioritize attacking Shaman, it's that Shaman makes it harder for them to move. That said, this is still only a 60% chance, and it goes into only 1 target. So I think Gravity Arceus with Darkrai is the play here. I think that's going to be the restricted duo. Then I need Ditto and Smeargle. They're the Pokemon that make the whole premise work. And then I get 2 more Pokemon that I don't actually bring to games. In the Reg I video, I had Raging Bolt and I don't remember what else. And the whole point of them was just to scare things off in the team builder. Like, I identified certain Pokemon that I thought were threats. And I brought... Well, I didn't... The point was I could never bring them to games, right? If the whole premise is 4 Mythicals, I have to bring these 4 Pokemon every single time. So whatever I bring in the back, I had like 1 move on them even. They were never coming to games. Their entire purpose was to sit there at team preview and try to scare off certain threats that I thought would be hard to deal with. It's tricky though, because the first thing that comes to mind as a threat for this team is opposing Darkrai. But given that Darkrai is going to be the only mythical Pokemon on most teams that bring it, I actually do want opponents to bring Darkrai, even if it's hard to deal with. If I scare it off, then I just can't accomplish my goal. And if I run Scarf Darkrai, then at least I can outspeed and put theirs to sleep, right? So... is there anything that isn't mythical that I'm afraid of here? Zamazenta could be a pain, right? Because it matches up well into my restricteds and makes the opponent not really have to be afraid of them so much. Also, it gets Wide Guard, so it could shut down my Dark Void. Zamazenta would be a problem. Lunala, I can Dark Pulse it, but it also gets Wide Guard and shuts down my Dark Void. Do I just want to scare off Wide Guard users? What gets Wide Guard? Lunala, Zamazenta, and then a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, maybe Lunala and Zamazenta are the Pokemon I most want to scare off. Darkrai helps with Lunala, I think, but a lot of them run Terra Fairy, right? Okay, how do I scare off Zamazenta? Volcarona is very strong into Zamazenta. Maybe I just put 2 Pokemon in the back that Zamazenta is afraid of. So I could also scramble the order of the team if I want to hide my intentions a little bit. But yeah, maybe I just put 2 Pokemon in the back that are good checks to Zamazenta. What other than Volcarona is good at that? Chandelure. Sarah Ledge. Then I don't really need double fire though, do I? Is there a water type that matches up well in the Zamazenta? I feel like there must be. So it's Dondozo. Or am I tunnel visioning too much? Is there something other than Zamazenta that I need to worry about? Shadow Rider Calyrex probably not so much when I have Scarf Darkrai. I mean, Scarf Darkrai is mostly just here to collect Dark Void, but yeah, having that extra bit of speed control on it feels like it does a lot for the gimmick here. There's always Rapid Strike or Shifu. Just thinking, what does our Shifu draw out? Also, Volcarona could scare off some Mythicals too. I just have to live with that, I think. But like, I don't think I want another fire type because I don't want, you know, people to be afraid to bring their Magearna against me. I could slap on a Suicune, just threaten things with Scald. And the threat of Tailwind. I don't know, I think I just picked this Pokemon because it happened to be right in front of me, but I think this is going to be the 6. I'll fill out the sets, they're going to be very simple, we'll see how this goes. Alright, well I've already explained my choices here. I do think Rapid Strike or Shifu would probably be scarier for opponents to see at preview than Suicune, but Suicune still matches up well into Zamazenta, right? This loses to a lot of things, but the goal isn't to win, the goal is to get 4 Mythicals. I actually considered running Hypnosis on Darkrai as well as Dark Void to get past Wide Guard. But I don't know. Maybe I'll need the Psychic Zamazenta, maybe Icy Wind will create an opening for Smeargle to transform. We're just gonna give this a go. And then of course these 2 don't have full sets because I never actually bring them to games. If you know that part of the plan if you watched the previous 4 Restricteds video, which if you didn't watch it, I really enjoyed that one. I recommend checking it out. Tailwind kind of just ruins me. I did realize that in the builder. I could have run Tailwind on Arceus, but, you know, I already have Gravity. Something has to give. This person also has Gravity, though. They might just set it for me. My Darkrai's faster than theirs, but not if they set Tailwind. Alright. I'll lead Arceus, Darkrai, Ditto, Smeargle in the back. That's probably every game. There's their Darkrai. So I can now switch my Ditto. I don't have to. I can Dark Void first. Okay. I do have to switch Ditto into this slot because that's where their Mythical is. Yep, my Dark Void goes off first because my Darkrai's Scarfed. Oh, it's Lumberry, Sableye. Yeah, we're probably going to see Lumberries on more random stuff now because Darkrai's running around. Now I'm going to try to transform into their Darkrai. I'll just go for another Swords Dance. There we go. I got 3 Mythicals. Oh, I can't Extreme Speed their Darkrai. It's a Ghost type. I don't have any other attack on my Arceus. I don't know what moves Darkrai are running. I really was improvising with Psychic and Icy Wind in the last 2 slots, so this will tell me something. This one does have Hypnosis, and of course Protect, because it's not Scarfed. So maybe they are running Dark Void and Hypnosis. Arceus can't do any damage here. It's locked into Swords Dance anyway. But also, these are both Ghost types. I'll click Hypnosis into Sableye. Nice. Oh, I still need to get Smeargle onto the field and transform that into their Darkrai. Alright. Let's see if I can do that here. And their Darkrai will wake up this turn. I'll just Protect. Ditto. Oh, they get a Dark Void into Smeargle. I messed that up pretty badly. It's okay if Smeargle wakes up soon. Moody gives me a speed drop. I mean, that doesn't really matter here, I don't think. I'll go for Hypnosis into their Darkrai. Oh, Sableye wakes up. I guess I should have clicked Dark Void. I guess there was no reason not to. I don't know why they clicked Gravity when that was already up. Maybe the Sableye can't do much else. Now I don't have Gravity, which is a little bit awkward. I'm still going to try to transform Smeargle into their Darkrai. I think I'm down to just throw a Dark Pulse at Sableye. When I set Gravity right back up, I could have put it to sleep. And credit with the Dark Pulse. Smeargle stays asleep. Bad Dreams damage is ticking on their Darkrai, but it's still not in danger of being KO'd. Here I'll click Transform and Protect. Smeargle wakes up. Smeargle transforms. I have 4 I did it in the very first game. I said this one was going to be harder. I really thought so, but we pulled it off in the very first game here. So this is going to be a short video, I think. Now we just spam Dark Pulse. I have 4 mythical Pokemon successfully, and 3 of them are Darkrai. If Reg J wasn't giving you nightmares yet, you better watch out for these triple Darkrai teams running around. Everything just takes a nap. I'm pretty low on the ladder because I lost a lot of games in the most recent video I recorded. Eyes peeled for that. It is part 50 in the VGC Legends series. I'll mention that it's part 50 in the video. It was really something. But there we go. This only took 1 battle. I did not... I thought I was going to be sitting here a while longer than this, but hey, the premise of the video is satisfied. I got 4 mythical Pokemon in 1 game. And yeah, I hope you sleep well tonight after seeing all these nightmares unleashed. That's all for now.